Welcome back, everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and I'll be breaking down the entire stock market and what the market did today and where the market might be heading next. So before we get started, guys, that would be greatly appreciated if you can slap that like button, and also if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. Now, if you wanna go above and beyond and get those fantastic trade ideas and you want to support the channel, also check out the link down below in the description for Patreon. And now, market here, you can see this is the future market and we're down at just a tiny here, nothing big, but again, the only big thing, tariff. That's why the market gapped down today, but bulls did a great job bringing the market back up. Now, if you look at my screen, Dow Jones going up from going down 1%. That is a 2% move here, up 1%. Nasdaq was down 2%, and you can see pretty much closed flat. We played Qs and SPX today, and it was a really good start of the week. So definitely, if you're really serious about trading, check out my link down below in the description, guys, for Patreon. And if you go for that Premium Plus membership, you're gonna get all those fantastic trade ideas. S&P up over 0.5%, which is great here because we played and we caught $100 100 points move on SPX, which is a big move we caught today. Here, this thing was really good. Now, Russell here, you can see down 0.5%, but it was down more than, I think, 1.5%. Here's the 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. And what do you know and what do we got here on top? Well, it's a risk-off move here in the market. Consumer defensive leading the way. Utilities, financial, energy, real estate, and then cyclical names. Amazon, Tesla. They were both pretty much down on the day, or kind of flat. But everything else, if you look at my screen, except these two names, technology and consumer cyclical, when actually green for the day, which is fantastic. And it's a good signal that market might be bottoming at some point. Stock market map, what we got here? Well, if you look at my screen, consumer defensive and why, Walmart up over 3%. We do have a position here on Walmart, a long term, and that position is going up as we speak. Costco was also up. PG, another one. Tesla was down over 6%. So a fantastic recovery here on Tesla, now down only 1.67%. Amazon was down quite a bit, and you can see only down now just over 1%. Meta, boy oh boy, this was a play we took today. 600 calls on Meta, went to the moon. Entry was at 555, 554, and this thing came back up to 574. So that is a almost a $20 move we caught today here on Meta. Google was also down, but now it's flat just before closing. And then we have Broadcom down 1% and Nvidia. I would say this is actually not bad considering how things were in the morning. Nvidia down over 1%, and Microsoft was down nearly 2%, came back up, and now it's down close to 1%. Financial doing a great job. You can see everything pretty much in the green. Even some of these regional banks are also green for the day. On Dow Jones, it's up 1%, and you can see right on my screen, this is actually a bottoming process, or at least we're finding some sort of a ground here, at least in the short term. I'm not calling the bottom here. This could be a bottom, a tradable bottom that is forming as we speak. And why? Well, some signals, some chart, that's signaling that this could be a bottom. And I'm going to go into details in a little bit. Let's just go through Dow Jones here. And you can see we got a massive bullish engulfing candle with some high volume buying today from 411, guys. And this was a trade that I took myself, including another Patreon members that he called out. It wasn't actually my trade, DIA. So all these ETFs, I played 20 tickers today. Usually I don't do that. I don't trade like maniac, but today's dip, guys, I had to go for it. And if you spend about, let's say, 20, 30 grand today, end of the day, you had massive profit in your account. Depending on where and how you're, playing. If you're playing like 1 DT, 0 DT, 2 DT, what happened? Well, everything came back up pretty much like a normal day, right? In some cases, even like SPY, it was down, and then we finished green 0.5%. So, if you got those 1 DT, 2 DT, even SPX, you made a killing today. So here on Dow Jones, it's over a 416 and pretty much right here, close to this 5-day moving average. So I think early as tomorrow we can possibly retest 423 over that. It's gonna look more bullish, and this is actually here in this case low and a higher low here. So it's looking good as of right now, but we're not out of the woods yet. You can see if I draw a line here, that is a downtrend, and we need to get over at least $430 to get out of this daily downtrend. Now, to the downside, key level of support will be right down here, 416, and then 410 lower Bollinger Band down to possibly even 407, and then flat for 100 if we're going down. And this is just a dead cat bounce, which I don't think, with this kind of a candle today, it's not going to be something where market will just easily crash going into next 2 days. We do have these tariffs are that's going to take place, and I think that is where market can find the bottom, and we might see a rally, a relief rally, back up to the upside, and possibly, like I said, even a tradable bottom, a bottom, not the bottom, in the short term. On SPY ETF, it's up 0.67%. So massive rally right here from these lows, guys. 546. I mean, that is a huge move. And that's why when I said we played SPX, and I'm still holding one contract, it was great. I mean, you cannot. I know there is some people, they lost money today. They were buying puts near the lows, and you cannot ask for a better Monday than today. This massive gap down, and then you buy the dip. And I'm not buying dips blindly. We have these call flows coming in right after the opening after the gap down and market, and then VIX was going down, and there were a lot of put flows coming in. I did share that with my Patreon group. So, not only you get trade ideas, you get a lot more information, even the market update, what we're going to do every morning. And that helps pretty much people that are following these trades. Now, the key thing I want to talk about here, we had this low down here, right? And now we made a new low. We had this low here on this RSI, and we made a higher low. So that is a bullish divergence right here on SPY. Even on Qs, you can look on the daily time frame, and I'm not even talking about hourly. I rarely go and look at those unless I'm day trading. I don't really look at hourly, 5 minute, 15 minute all the time, but the daily is the key one. And you can see high volume buying today. We got a massive bullish engulfing candle, and we started the day pretty much near the lows of the day, and then we finished at the high of the day. We got up to 561 almost. So if you caught this move, especially on SPX like we did, boy oh boy, this thing was fantastic. I don't think you're gonna get a better Monday like we got today, anytime soon, unless there is a huge, gap down again tomorrow, and they start buying the dips, just like today. But usually you don't get that, every now and then. Once in a while you get these days where there's a gap down and we finish green, and everything lined up. All the positions that I took today, everything paid. Not even one single position that went actually red since the position that I took early in the morning. So bear flag, yes, we got the breakdown, but maybe this is the double bottom here. You can call this a double bottom. We got this and this right here. Also, you saw that on the RSI making a higher low. So now it's the time to watch where things can go. A huge dark pull order still sitting here at 559. We do have orders up to 575, 585. So things can go there at some point. And lower Bollinger Band coming back up, pushing the price over that for tomorrow's session. If this thing can hold 555, can get over 560, we can see 565 and possibly even higher. And this would be just a fake breakdown from this bear flag. Now, if this is all going to get wiped out, and this is gonna get even ugly, right? With the tariff news, which I don't think the case, then we will take out this low and then get down to 543, which is a key level, and then possibly end of the week we'll close this gap down here at 535. That's going to be a huge win for the bears. So let's just see how things play out tomorrow, and especially when these tariffs go into an effect Wednesday. So that is where the market, you got to watch the market and see what the market does. Usually market bottoms with really bad news, and I mean, we had these bad newses for the last couple of weeks, and I think it's time where market is gonna say, hey, tariff, whatever, forget about it. Let's just buy the dip. And at that point, there's gonna be people shorting. Even today, there were people they were shorting the pop, but it didn't work out. Market just kept going higher and higher, ending the day green and going up to 561, which was really good here on this dip. So watch out here on SPY, and we'll talk about it again. Now let's have a look at Qs. And you can see, I mean, this thing, I played 2DT on Qs. The first one I got here, I think it was at 460-ish I got, and that was like 2 weeks out, and then I got out immediately. I think it was a 10% loss. I got out. Then I bought back here when this thing dropped down here. Once again, 2DT, because obviously 2DT is gonna pay me more, and I had a bunch of other position like I said before. And this thing, I mean, went to Jupiter. Huge move, guys, huge. And look at this, same thing. RSI making a higher low. We had this low. Uh, Q is making a new low and the RSI making a higher low. So that is, typically a bullish pattern, but we need some more follow through. I'm not saying, I'm a big bull and this is it, this is the bottom and we're going to all-time highs. That's not the message. So, don't get it wrong. But this could be a tradable bottom, maybe a double bottom here, and we can possibly continue higher. We have to wait at least up until Wednesday and see what the market, does with those, new tariffs, right? And whoever is getting and however they're getting and how much they're getting. So here on Qs, guys, it's over 466. So typically it's better than, what we actually started the day with, a new low. As long as we're over 466, it can push possibly up to 478 once again, which is going to be a huge move. Maybe retest bottom of this bear flag. That can possibly happen. But if this thing is not able to hold 466, then watch out for 462 and then 460 to the downside, all the way down to 449.50. On IWM, it's down 0.5%. So this is another play out of my 20 tickers that I played today, and still holding some calls on IWM. 200 strike, got in at 196, and this thing pushed up to 200, which was in the money. But I think it can possibly push a bit higher, maybe 204. That can come tomorrow. Now, yes, even here you can see high volume buying, and from these lows we went back up, but it's not looking good as SPY or even Dow Jones. It's not a massive, bullish engulfing candle. We had a decent size wick here on bottom of this candle, and also on top some selling pressure. So we'll see how this, plays out tomorrow. But key line is saying 198, below that 193. We almost got there today. If this thing breaks and hold 200, it can get up to 204 and possibly even come up and retest 210. On VIX, it's up nearly 3%. And if you're subscribed to my channel, we talked about it before, how this, bullish falling wedge, we can get that breakout. We got the breakout last week and continuation, happening again today. It got up to almost right here, 25. And then from there, came back. So the put flows were coming in from maybe 10 minutes after the bell, market open, and that's where I took these calls because there were a lot of put flows coming in for VIX, and market was pressing higher slowly. It took some time, but if you're watching the net flow, yeah, market was just a lot of calls coming in, and there were a lot of puts coming in on VIX. So that actually really helps. They're not a sponsor, but Traditix, fantastic service. Anybody wants to have a look at it, definitely, it's worth every penny what they charge for those numbers and data that they put out where things are going. It really helps with your own technical analysis, and then you look at this data and you like, okay, if inside big buyers are buying, whales are buying, we got to buy it, right? We cannot short, we got to follow what they're doing. So it's a great service, even though they're not a sponsor of my channel. I don't care. If the service is good, I'm gonna say it. I have used unusual whales before, some other crappy services like Spot Gamma, $250, but not really worth it. Garbage services. But this is a really good service. So, it shows where things are going, and it's pretty much accurate, like I would say 90 to 95%. Now, VIX tomorrow, guys, 22, your key line in the sand. Below that, it can drop down to 20. And under 20, market will have that relief where market can press even higher, and VIX will get down even more. Now, if this thing remains over 22, guys, we're not out of the woods yet. Forget about buying the dip and all that and being bullish about it. Even with that bullish engulfing candle, we need this thing to come down. And if that's not happening, what's going to happen? Yes, market can go up, but volatility is going to be both ways. You're not going to see consolidation. You're not going to see any sort of, pattern like a bull flag or, some sort of a wedge. Nothing. Because if this thing is able to hold over 2022, volatility is up, and that means what? You're going to see, one way or the other, big swings in the market, up down, buying into buying, selling into selling. And that means what? Huge opportunity. But also, if you get it wrong, you're going to lose a lot of money. To the upside, there will be resistance at 26, possibly can come up here if this thing stays over 22, and over that 28 to $30 right here on VIX. So lastly, quickly, I want to talk about TLT, and we had that massive movement pretty much closing at the daily 200 SMA right here at 91. So if this thing is able to hold here, possibly can push even higher. And we saw some pressure, here on TLT to the downside, but you can see the dip was bought up instantly. So I don't know, guys. I mean, yes, that is where we got to be careful, because if the bond market is heading higher and it's doing this type of moves, I mean, where this thing comes down and there were a lot of buyers stepping in and buying the bonds, guess what? Market will likely to get hit again. And that's why the key word here as short-term bottom forming. A bottom, not the bottom, unless we get more confirmation. Also, the 50 SMA, now it's rising. It's a positive slope, and you can see if this thing crosses, we had the death cross here. If this thing crosses back over daily 200 SMA, and we get that close over daily 200 SMA, that's going to be really bullish for TLT, and that's going to be bad news for the market. So that's all I have for you guys in this video, this quick update, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into tomorrow night.